Levitt's silence on the nephew is interesting. Isn't Levitt's silence interesting there? All right. So technically, I am live. You guys let me know in the chat if you guys are here. We had some massive quirky streaming issues today at noon, which I feel awful about. And the fact, like, I'm looking at the number here and I hope we don't have the same issue again. But if anyone wants to join us for our chat, 7 p.m. right now, Dr. Abby Medcalf is joining me.
Louise is here.
Louise is here in the live. So we are here. So let me put my notes over here before I sign off on TikTok.
Danielle is still here. Manny, Dr. Hi.
You guys, everyone say hi while I log off.
So excited. I'm so excited too. I'm really into it. And I have to tell you, I even had these thoughts about the difference between how Cardi B was handling stuff and this, like just what it says psychologically. And anyway, I just was having thoughts, but it might be off. You know, you have I know a thing we have to do. So I'm in.
Well, Abby, sometimes these topic conversations that we have, as soon as I say we're going to have it on a topic, I want to talk about 15 other topics. You know, like I want to talk about Vanity Fair.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I just was thinking about how differently, right? Managing the truth versus managing the narrative.
Oh, managing the truth over managing the narrative.
That's all. I was really like,
I like that.
Cardi B knew she had she was like, take it, let's go. She, managing all that ambiguity, managing all that stress around, like she knows who she is.
You're talking about Cardi B?
Huh?
You're talking about Cardi B?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like going to court, sitting there, doing her thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can't.
God, then you got Blake and Ryan and the rest, like managing.
I couldn't do 1 minute of content about Cardi B right now. Like,
no worries. I'm just saying, I was like really thinking about it today, like the differences in all this. I was like, yeah.
No, I think when you said, there's managing truth and managing narrative, I think of the White House. Like, and I think of.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's everywhere right now. It's everywhere right now. And it's one of the problems with social media is that social media rewards certainty, not accuracy. Someone gets on, go, this is it. Yeah. Here's the truth. And everyone goes, okay. And no one double checks. No one, not no one, but lots of people.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm going to log off of TikTok because we're in the vault now because I can't start saying what I want to say until we're private in the vault. But hey, everyone, PR crisis for straight white men. I don't even know what that means, but what a great time to log off. So you guys, I'm going to head over. If you want to join our chat right now, we're going to do the deep dive, Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, the 1 year touch-in because it's been a year since the civil lawsuit. Heather, thank you so much, girl. The moderator, she has the link at top. If you want to join us, go into my Substack. You become a member of the vault where what is said in the vault stays in the vault. All right. Signing off now. And Heather, thanks so much. Oh my gosh, it was great seeing you. Bye for now.
We're in.
Okay. And now. Woo! All right. We are in. Abby, my God. Nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
All right. So I'm so excited. Thanks to whoever posted the link on Substack. I know. So first I have to say welcome to our members of the vault. You guys are amazing. I always love having you here. We on Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to do the list 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 of the top PR crises of 2025, good and bad. The first list was last Friday. You can watch the live video if you want on Substack or on YouTube. And then the podcast came out today, but the live list will be out Friday at noon. But today we have Dr. Abby here, and we are going to do the breakdown on Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Justin Baldoni. The idea behind it was really to do a 1 year check-in because it was a year ago close where Blake Lively, it was late December 2024. I don't remember the exact date, but it was
October.
It was a Friday.
I wrote it down. December 20th.
December 20th. Thank you.
How do you like that? I'm right there.
Wow, fantastic. You're good on your fact sheet. My fact sheets are everywhere right now. But it was and it was on a Friday. So late Thursday, Blake Lively filed it was a civil complaint, a civil action that centered on sexual harassment, retaliation claims against Justin Baldoni and his company Wayfair over It Ends With Us. And she also did on December 21st. Then the New York Times published a long investigative piece called "We Can Bury Anyone Inside a Hollywood Smear Machine." So I was at my countertop, not to drag this out, but this is important. Hey, Amy. Hey, Manny, Mary, Chris, love having it. And all our new people here as well. Love it. Having you guys all here. But when Quinn said to me, "Hey, Mom, did you see that Blake Lively is suing Justin Baldoni?" I went, "What?" And I immediately put up my camera because I didn't even need 5 seconds to process exactly what was happening. Is that Blake Lively? Oh, what did you say, Dr. Abby? Controlling the truth and controlling the narrative? Was the word control? Mm-hmm. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Okay, Blake Lively was controlling the narrative by doing something that I see in my role in crisis management all the time. Now, like I said to you, this conversation is Kate, thank you so much for telling us that is your handle. I know exactly who you are, Kate. But the vault is here because this is where I go off the record and tell it like it is. Because I mean,
we love it.
Well, and you too, somewhat. But
I do.
Yeah. I'm always amazed at who follows, me online, because I do have to watch what I say sometimes, because I have a lot of reporters, a lot of press, a lot of publicists, a lot of Hollywood publicists, a lot of people in the entertainment industry follow me. And I'm not saying it like this, but I'm saying it like, ooh. So, I really do have to watch myself, but that's why I like this community, because I still do have to get it off my chest, because it drives me crazy. But when I saw that article, I knew exactly what it was, that it was a framing of the narrative, owning the narrative, setting the narrative, where she wanted to get ahead of Justin Baldoni, because in August, as many of you know, the premiere happened same time as Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman's movie. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds wanted to own that space. Mm-hmm. Everything got pushed back because of the writer's strike. They weren't going to have dual premieres in August, but because of the writer's strike, it got pushed. At the time, I was a correspondent for contributor for Forbes magazine. I saw it for exactly what it was, because I saw all these articles in People magazine from Blake's side and Ryan's side. And I knew, like, what is going on with Justin Baldoni? And he was being sidelined. Second from that, because I do so much work with publishers in that industry, and especially publishers who work with like first-time authors who become big authors, like a Colleen Hoover, I knew exactly what was going on in the campaign. So fast forward again to December, which is really last year, when the New York Times came out with that story, I knew, and I'm saying it, the fix was in. Now that story was also, oh my God, do not have it. Oh, my brain, my COVID brain's not gonna be able to do it. It's too bad we don't have Herb here. But the two women behind the Me Too movement, Meg Toohey, and I don't remember the other woman's name, they're the ones who were big people who propelled the whole Me Too movement that brought down Harvey Weinstein and so many other people. They turned it into a book, into a movie, and did they win the Pulitzer Prize? I think. But they wrote this story that I just mentioned in the New York Times. I thought the nerve and the irony of Blake Lively to file a lawsuit, and Justin Baldoni filed countersuit to claim that Justin Baldoni and Wayfair is initiating a PR smear campaign when she initiated a PR smear campaign using the New York Times. And and you can't like use the New York Times as part of PR because it's journalism. But I think, I don't have Megan Toohey's co-writer there.
Jodi Cantor, I think.
Jodi Cantor. That's exactly it. So you have those two, and then you had other writers supporting it as well. But you are what they wanted, because once you're Me Too, you got to stay up there. So what do? You partner with the Blake Lively, and then you do this story. But the interesting thing that happened, is anyone bored by this? They did win a Pulitzer Prizes. Thank you, Vanessa. But the interesting thing that happened in the story is it backfired. It backfired because Tui Cantor were on the story. It didn't matter. Nobody cared that those two were on the story. Blake Lively wanted to get almost like the credential, the validation by having those two on there, and it didn't work. And there was a bit of a backlash there. And that's why I think Justin Baldoni at the time, I'm bringing you guys all up, up to date here, is when Justin Baldoni's team was reaching out to me, and not team, but I should say the people who were sued, the people in the lawsuit with Justin Baldoni reached out to me because they saw my post.
I remember that.
You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And they were telling me things behind the scene. Now, just because they reached out doesn't mean that I necessarily went, oh, well, Justin's right, and I fed right into it. I just wanted to hear from them what was going on. And honest to God, they were shocked, scared. They were like, what? And the truth of the matter is, I do not think, and this is why I can't say this on TikTok, most publicists in Hollywood don't have a freaking clue how to do crisis management. They don't know. That's why the lawsuit could, in my opinion, could be immediately tossed out by Blake Lively, because they don't know crisis management. Nobody knows it. So when they say like Melissa Nathan is a crisis manager, it's like, no, she's not a crisis manager. She's a publicist. And then they take on these roles. So you can see we're getting into my nerves things. But this has been 1 year of a reputation war between these three people. Even though it's Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, Dr. Abby and I know there are three people in this story. There are three people. So today, Dr. Abby and I, we're not going to get into the details of the legal and the law and the this and the that, because honestly, you can go to any other content creator because they go deep on that. I think it was Perez Hilton keeps tagging me, writing me all the time. He's like, girl, you got to do this. You got to do this, and then Popcorn Planet, like all the people who got sued, they all wanted me to jump in. I'm like, fuck, like you guys all got sued. I don't want to get this right now. I'm coming back a year from now with Dr. Abby, and here we are. Dr. Abby, give me your intro.
What? Wait, what do you want?
How about this? First of all, let's set some ground rules, okay, for framing this conversation. We are not lawyers. That's why we're not going to spend a lot of time on the legal mishigas. It doesn't matter to us. I'm reputation. You are psychology. So no verdicts here. It's not just gossip chit chat and gossip content now. And it's not, we don't want to be drama tourists where we just drop in and go, rah, 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 rah. We hate Blake and this is why we hate Blake. No, everything we say is grounded in truth and experience and knowledge. Am I right? Okay.
See, this is when being old is good.
Why? Because we can say whatever the hell we want.
I've been doing it 40 years. I got good experience. I'm like, I've been around a long time. I've been doing this a long time.
So before I get Abby in, because I have a big question for Abby, then we're going to go huge into Abby. And I want to look at the chat real quick too, but ground rules is that we really want you guys in the chat as well. We are going to look at the chat. You guys go back and forth. I want to get your takes on this as well. This will live in our chat. I might pull clips of it to make reels, but nothing anyone says here will ever be public at all. Carla, Perez Hilton is an awful human and walking, talking PR nightmare. Can I tell you what? The reason why I don't do anything or tag him or follow him or anything, because he still to me is a walking PR crisis. So you're absolutely right. Okay, Abby, here we go. I want you first, just in general, tell me this. Like, what is the human cost when someone goes through a public conflict or anything that's public? What happens to a person?
Well, so much. What happens to a person? I mean, the big thing is that, our identities are on the line, right? Like who we think we are. And that's just no matter who you are. This happens too if your boss calls you out in a meeting. I mean, doesn't matter the scope, believe it or not. It's no matter, everyone in here has had a boss say, I want to see you in my office at 2. And you have the same reaction, trust me, as Justin Baldoni did when he got this thing. The risks are higher on some level, but your brain is always a drama king, queen. So it's always going all the way there. There's a tiger chasing me, I'm going to die. Like, that's where it goes. So the nervous system gets clicked on, the amygdala is on. And the thing everyone has to remember is that when your fear brain is activated, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that's, logic, reasoning, all the good stuff, literally if a functional MRI, it looks like there's a blanket over it. So your only choices when your fear brain is up are to fight, flight, or freeze. Yes. That's it. People do fawn too. We could go there, which is sort of like the people pleasing, but we're not even going to talk about that today. But that's it. And that's what you see is these reactions, these very strong reactions where people go doubling down all the way there. And you're thinking to yourself, like, why is this such a big deal? These people have more money than God, especially these people, right? You're like, what are they doing?
So let me ask you,
your identities are on the line, and that's why.
I like that. So you brought up, and even when you're talking about this, when I was traveling in North Carolina before the state decided to give me COVID, I'm still bitter. But I was with the South Carolina contingency, so I blame both now North and South Carolina. But I was listening to the audiobook, The Body Keeps Score.
Oh.
Brain, mind, and body. And I was thinking of you the entire time.
Well, that's our seminal book,
because of you. I mean, you taught me so much of it. But now also, so why do people, and I know we're here, we're talking about Blake and Ryan and Justin, but this is social media. This is the White House. This is everything.
Everybody.
Why do people double down instead of de-escalating?
It depends. Some people do de-escalate, right? Healthy people do. But people who are not healthy, and so much comes from, how you were raised, what you think is at risk. I mean, all the things. So that depends. But for the people who do double down, there's a few things. One is this that we just talked about. When your identity is on the line, this is who I think I am. I'm not fighting for truth. Right? I'm not trying for truth. I'm fighting for my story, my narrative, what I believe. Right. And that's all I'm fighting for. And we see that play out in politics here in this country. We see that everywhere, right? So that's why logic goes out the window, right? And you can try to have, and I need to say this too, it is not what happens is we then try to, if we're the healthier person, we're trying to communicate, and you're going to do it in PR and I'm going to do it as a psychologist, right? We have somebody freaking out and we try to make them understand. And everyone here has done it when their partner is freaking out and they're like, wait, you didn't understand. Wait, I meant it this way. No, that's not what I meant, right? It is not a failure of communication. It is a biological event happening. Mm-hmm. And that's why you have to stop talking.
Yes. I mean, so, and I see it all the time. Can I do a quick pivot and just ask people?
Please.
How many people, you're in North Carolina. I went hating on North Carolina. Can I tell you though, you guys, I loved being down in North Carolina. I mean, I wanted the weather to be nice, but I loved North Carolina. I went to Asheville. It was amazing. I was so upset though. I was supposed to meet my friend Julie down there, and the timing didn't work out because she was moving, but whatever. But and everyone is sick right now. Lori says in North Carolina, but honestly, I loved it down there. Did anyone see the solid core drama? Anyone? We're not going to get off on the Blake too much, but I have to ask you guys because it's about what Abby's talking about. Abby, do you know what I'm talking about? The solid core drama? Okay.
Nope.
Kate's saying, my theory is that the entirety of the corporate America operates in a perpetual community shock market driven by amygdala hijack. Right? I mean, they'll hold the amygdala thing. So does anyone, the weather's nice. I promise you I will come back to North Carolina. My God. But did anyone see the solid core drama about the guy who went in Darien, Connecticut, and he went into the room? Chris, are you a yes on this? And he went into, okay, Kate. Yep. And he went in and started working out on his own. Okay. Okay. So that classic case. So, and boy, has that evolved. It has now. I'm going to say this. No, it's a solid core drama, something I want in my FYP. Probably not, but it's entertaining as all get out. So
Okay.
the solid, oh, Manny, thank you. But here's what's so interesting, you guys. For the people who know me well, and this is like an amygdala story, and it's exactly what Abby's talking about, and I promise I'll come back. The solid core, then Equinox. Okay, everybody knows Greg, right? Does everyone know who Greg is? My boyfriend Greg. Um, one of the girls that's called out in the solid core thing is Greg's daughter. And Abby, this was a viral crisis. And I'm in North Carolina and I'm hearing, and Greg says, there's something going on with TikTok. I'm not quite sure. And I immediately go to Reddit. What do? I go to Reddit. And I was like, oh my God. And I didn't want to tell him, like, this is a really bad thing. Like, it's really bad. But the point is, the villain in the story, he's either the villain or the hero. What happened, it was a bunch of amygdala reactions online that people wanted to CYA, and then the whole thing goes viral. Since not everybody knows about it, if you want it in your algorithm, Chris, right?
I'm gonna stay
Anyone
far away.
who knows my personal life goes, wait, what? Yeah, exactly. Like, I thought Greg was going to have the big viral story of getting the guy to confess on television. No, that wasn't our biggest viral story of 2026, or 25. But my point is this: what Dr. Abby is talking about in the world of a viral PR crisis, in the world of Blake and Ryan. The reason why we're still talking about Blake and Ryan is people are letting the brain and that initial reaction take over, that they have to clean. Yeah. They have to clean the floor. They have to CYA, as Megan is saying, and they react to the cover the ass instead of doing the right thing. Right, Abby?
Well, and remember that Blake and Ryan, especially, think of their brand. Their brand is humor, likability, we're so cute, right? We're funny. Like, this is a brand they're defending. Like, right. Baldoni didn't have a brand, that I think, like, not in that way. I mean, broody guy.
I mean, he had one, but it wasn't on the scope.
It wasn't like the level of theirs. So when we're talking about their defense, it's like more than just even, like, oh, people don't think I'm a nice person. It's like, wow, like, I have this whole empires built on this. And so nothing can, like, touch it. You know what I mean? Like, so we have to really double down on that. We have to, like, really push back on that. And I want to remind people too, any type of uncertainty, like, I just did on the Relationships Made Easy podcast. I just did an episode on uncertainty. So everyone should go look at that. It's free. Go listen.
What's the title?
It's like called Uncertainty and Dealing with It or something. Just put in uncertainty, Abby Medcalf, you'll get it. And I just did it like a few weeks ago because uncertainty is such a huge deal. And you have to remember that your nervous system, you have a part of your brain that its only job is to look for uncertainty in anything ambiguous or ambivalent. Your nucleus accumbens, it's all it does. So, like, think of that. Because when we were uncertain,
what do you mean? Tell me more.
We were uncertain in any way 1,000,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago, 100 years ago, 200 years ago. Something bad was going to happen. If you were uncertain, right? Like, so your brain is very keyed into that. So it wants certainty all the time. Your nervous system, with just this much uncertainty, if you just, like, go to start your car in the morning and it doesn't go right away, there's, like, think about it. You're like, right. And then you do it, maybe it turns over and you're like, woo, I mean, that is how much uncertainty hits the brain. We need control all the time. And remember now, on top of that, here's a bunch of people who have a lot of certainty in their lives. They make things happen from everything, from how much yogurt is in the refrigerator, what kind, the amount of control that they are able to have. Well, as you get bigger and bigger and have more and more money, and I know, because again, I deal with these people, this is something that I have to deal with them with because they're having trouble in their marriages or with their executive assistants or whoever, because they start to lose their fish who don't know they're wet after a while. They start to lose the plot that there's lots of life that's uncertain and it's okay. So their tolerance gets very, very small for anything outside of the certain life they want to create. Hence, again, the doubling down. Yet another reason they double down. Their nervous systems are more triggered by anything being remotely like out of that realm.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's not just like a straight line towards it, but there's a habituation of power when you, like, for lack of a better term, you're habituated to having a certain amount of power and control in your life. You have that. And
Right.
when it's not there, you
Is when
real
the
like
panic
you
sets in.
notice it like you would notice a spot of, piece of pepper in the salt, like you would
Right.
like, oh, what is that? And there's a lot of attention. So it's not like one thing that makes these people so crazy. It's like a few things that
It's a
come together.
series of things. Yes.
Yes.
And so, like Megan's saying here, it's always behind the CIA. And in my work, I do notice that a lot. It's
Yeah.
they have to retreat, they have to be in control. And what typically happens, it's the cover of the ass. So
Yep.
anyone who follows solid core too, why did solid core happen? Because, well, I was going to say in solid core, literally you kind of cover your ass, but you don't, you work on your ass, but it's like, it's a CYA story. That's what the story is about. Now, last week, no, Monday, I think, I can't even remember my brain. I don't even remember what day it was, but it was in the last 4 days. I did an interview with People magazine. And they wanted to talk to you about Blake Lively again. And my first thought was, oh God, they're just, actually my first thought. And then my first question to her when I talked to her, I said, I said, what's your angle? And she went, don't worry. And I said, I said, if you're looking for a mouthpiece, you're not getting one, with me. And she said, no, it's not. I'm not coming on either side. I want to go, straight down the middle, because People magazine, that's why people use it. I mean, they pitch their stories in there. So we were chatting, and it was one of these stories. I think I want to put Carla in here for a moment, what she's saying. But so the People reporter and I were going back and forth, like on the record, off the record, which you're really not supposed to do with reporters. Like, you're always supposed to be on the record with reporters.
No, I know. I've talked about it. Yes.
But when you are a subject matter expert, they're so grateful that you're there,
right,
that we can go back and forth. Oh, I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back on Carla for a second, because I want to put this up here. People's coverage has been so misleading on this case. So thank you. You're right. And that's what made me nervous. But this writer has been doing some just kind of straight shooting stories. And we were talking about the Blake Lively seeking over $160 million in damages. I'll just bring this up real quick. Okay, here. I just want to show this you guys real quick. So Blake Lively right now is seeking over $160 million in damages in this ongoing legal battle. So as this reporter was talking to me with, kind of the list of things, and because Blake Lively has had a series of wins. I mean, she's had a series of legal wins, and Justin's kind of lost in that world. And a lot of the questions, they weren't misleading, which I agree 100% with what you're saying here on a lot of their coverage. But some of it is just straight, just the facts. They want the content. I mean, they want the clicks, in other words. But I said, both can be true. Like, Blake Lively can have a lot of legal wins, but it doesn't mean that it's a reputational win, because they're two completely different scoreboards.
right,
that you have to look at them on.
right.
And yes, she's getting legal wins, but also I think Blake has a lot more money. She's also has Ryan with her. And when you need facts, and to win a court case, sometimes you don't lose just because you're guilty. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's just what your lawyer has, or what or the case, or whatever it is.
Yeah. Did you see the redaction? So, Baldoni, because I went and looked, I was like, okay, I got to look at this thing. So Baldoni files what is that called? The motion for summary judgment. And she does a response. If you look at her response, the entire thing is redacted. I mean, the entire thing is redacted.
Is this the one from a couple months ago, or recently?
No, December 4th.
Okay.
It just happened. So when you look, think of this. So just think for a minute. So everything is redacted. So is that privacy, or is that controlling the narrative?
Yeah.
So now I'm deciding maybe I have a case that on the legal issues, maybe, and I want the public to know what I want them to know. That's why it's so, I mean, it's so, to me, it's kind of obvious. I'm sure it's to everybody obvious, but when I just saw, I was looking, I just thought, let me look at it. There's nothing to read. I'm not even joking. Like the entire thing is redacted. So when you see that, that's what you have to remember. This is somebody, they're protecting the narrative. They're not looking for, they don't want the truth, right? Otherwise, you'd put all the facts out there. Why wouldn't you put all the facts out? Here
Right.
it is. Look at all these facts I have. I would actually want the public thinking that, but it means that things aren't so clear. It means that things aren't so like just straight. It doesn't mean she's not telling the truth or whatever. I can't, I don't know. But it does mean that she doesn't like how the truth looks.
Right.
So so this whole thing that came back, I was like, okay, because that definitely made me think about how hard they are going after this narrative and making sure that the public opinion is, because that's really all they care about anymore. They don't care about this money. They don't need $160 million.
And they should care about it because in entertainment, it matters.
Yeah.
And with Blake and Ryan as a couple, their whole brand is shtick.
Yes.
And cute couple. And we're in this together. And
Yep.
they can't be that couple anymore.
Nope.
They can't sit and smack wise.
No.
When everyone's looking at them like assholes.
Like assholes, right?
Like you're destroying a person, right?
Well, look, like Ashton and Mila, the same thing happened, right? Everyone's looking at them. They're like, no.
Oh, they're still struggling. Oh my God, those two are still struggling.
So as they should. It's
as they should.
Don't
so
even get me going. Sorry.
Seeking over $160 million in damages, and a big part of it is because she has $56 million in lost earnings, $71 million in lost business profits tied to Betty Buzz, Betty Booze, and Blake Brown Beauty, and also the filings allege that she'd suffered $34 million in reputational harm, based on an estimated 65 million negative impressions. This is what fucking pisses me off about Blake Lively and why Blake Lively cannot win this case. Because the 65 million negative impressions, what they're trying to show is that this entire smear campaign was directed against them from Justin Baldoni's little camp and his publicist, who we went to high school with, by the way.
Oh my God.
They grew up together. That's how they know each other. They grew up together. But the negative impressions, as someone who was writing for Forbes magazine at the time, knew a lot of it was coming from natural reaction of people and how they felt about Blake Lively. So now she's using her little legal wins to keep, putting it up there. Yep. Now, I will say that the reporter was telling me, so now I want to talk quickly just about their position, agency, credibility, and forward motion for Blake, Justin, and Ryan, because I have some numbers there. Now, the People reporter was, I'll say this, she said this to me, everybody's so anti-Blake, but, a lot of people have told me that Justin Baldoni's an asshole. I went, interesting. But I did say, reputationally from a bigger fan point of view is different than knowing someone in person, right?
Yeah.
And kind of like a president, if you're an actor, you're in Hollywood, Dr. Abby.
Yeah.
There really has to be some seated asshole in there, even if you're in the industry. Am I right?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. So I'm sure it's like he's, Justin Baldoni is, zen, bun, whatever.
Yeah.
But he may not be like that all the time because you still have to be a business person when you're working in the millions and billion dollars world. But freaking Ryan Reynolds, who tries to come off as this cute, and they're this cute couple. Yep. Ryan Reynolds is a big freaking asshole in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So Chris, let me just, I'm going to, what does this mean? Now I think Ryan Reynolds has to have created the men have crushes on our native. Is that saying that you think that Ryan Reynolds created that narrative? Probably. But he's trying to create this whole narrative there. And I mean, what do you think? So first, before we get into everybody else, let's talk. Okay, Blake Lively. She has legal momentum. Yes. What's your psychological read on Blake Lively?
It's what it's always been. I think she's someone who grew up in shadow of her family, and she's highly, I believe, we're in the vault, highly, highly, highly codependent. I talked about this before. Remember her childhood and getting sent to kindergarten when she was 3 years old with her older brother because he didn't want to be alone. Really, like, didn't want to go on any of these uh, interview the auditions, but her brother talked her into it. Like, really, just like to please everybody. That's her. I'm pleasing everybody. That's my job, is to please people with how I look, with how I act, with how I show up, with being this wife, with being this mommy, with my trad wife, weird, booze and shampoo.
She's kind of traddy.
She's so trad wife to me. Like, I don't know. Like, and it's the energy of it to me. Like, you can feel it. I mean,
I think she wants to be a trad-like influencer so she can make
fakes
and stuff online. But technically, she's not trad.
There's some weird, like, Meghan Markle vibes now, like, that I'm getting. Anyway, I don't even want to get into that because I know that's
you don't want to get into Meghan Markle.
I just there's this weird, like, tone deaf, weird. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what is happening? But anyway. So we know she's had this lifetime of that. And then you marry this controlling guy. It's perfect, right? So yes, please control me. I'm going to be the perfect, gorgeous, beautiful. Like, the woman's had 4 kids. She looks like she's had no kids. I know that's Hollywood, but still, like, everything is perfect. We live on this farm in the middle of nowhere, and we milk the cows and make our own butter. I don't even know what the fuck they do, but you know what I mean? And so this is a woman who's always just listened. Like, you tell me what to do, direct, and I'll do it. And it's so clear to me. And no one is married to a man like that for as long as they've been married and doesn't have some of that. Do you know what I mean? Like, isn't, like, okay with it. Like, this is better. Thank God I can relax.
Wait, okay, say that sentence again. Nobody.
She's been married to him a long time because she is absolutely, you can't be married to a man that controlling for so long and not be what I'm saying.
Oh, codependent
and people pleasing. And, like, again, since she was a little girl, like, she's been bred for this marriage. Right. And so I think, as someone said in the comments, I think he is driving this whole thing. Like, we have to protect our, remember, he's got a cop and a Mountie brother and father. And I mean, this man comes from, like, he doesn't come from the OG Canadians like he tries to pretend. Right. He comes from the, we're going to fuck with you Canadians. So, and he pretends he doesn't. He pretends he's aw shucks. And that whole thing is a lot, right? He's smart. He's really done the whole thing, and he's made a lot of money from it. And I would also argue that no one gets that far, in some ways without being a bit of a badass and pushy. Right. But yeah, and I think he's pushing this now. I think he has a power thing. I think he has huge control issues, which I've talked about before. And I think once something's really public, you stop controlling the narrative, right? You can't control it anymore.
You can't control it. You don't try
to control it anymore. And I think that's been so much about the secrets and the redactions I just mentioned, and the not, like, they keep their merit, whatever's going on in there. It's so obvious, the joking back and forth on, I'm sure Ryan probably tells her what to say. I wouldn't doubt it. Like, back and forth on their little banter stuff.
Well, they don't banter anymore.
Not anymore, because they're smart. They pull back. They know they can't. They can't seem like they don't care. He did the one, remember on Saturday Night Live, he did the little joke, and everybody was like, too soon, soon. Back it up, buddy. Exactly. Like, he got spanked and he got it, and they've been trying to follow this. But when I'm seeing this now, I think they're like, we have to win this somehow to get onto a perch so we can get back to where we were.
Right. They desperately want to get back. I wonder, is this true that there's a podcast? Is this Ryan Reynolds after his book came out where he compared himself to Jesus Christ? Is that Ryan? Is it Ryan or Justin that we're talking about? I'm assuming it's Ryan. But yes, the season of Wrexham was so off, and it's clear he was affected by all this. Yes, he has 100% been affected. There's been a lot of, I got to get all my notes. A lot of his projects that are coming out are not, like, some are going straight to Netflix. They're being pushed back. He does not have the Hollywood clout.
He's never had to, really think of his career. It's been a very steady grow. right? I mean, it really has, like, little role, bigger and bigger. He's never dealt with this. There's so many stars we can name who have like been up and down and up and down, right? Like hated, loved, hated, loved. He's like The Rock, was until the Maui thing with Oprah, but you know what I mean? Like he's kind of like The Rock. Like there's some celebrities that have just, they get to just keep going and they seem to, and now, so you don't build the thick skin, you don't build the tolerance for how to kind of shuck and jive around that stuff. That's why I think they're also failing miserably. They have no experience with little fails, little PR problems,
right?
They suddenly just have the biggest one. And I think they thought this whole thing was going to be taken care of tooth sweet.
Yep, that they were powerful enough. They thought, based on what I was tracking last August, when I was really, really following it, August, September, October, they thought they could control it. And when they couldn't, that's why they put that civil lawsuit together. And it was driven by Ryan. So here's a question. Do you think this could have translated into her obsession with authorship in creative processes? Her trying to overcompensate potential insecurity after hiding behind codependency for so long. So this is Blake.
Like trying to find, like, I think it makes a lot of sense. When you're trying to get credit, you're trying to show like, I'm not just the pretty girl from Traveling Pants. You know what I mean? Like I'm more, look at me, right? Like something to own. And again, not a coincidence to me that this whole big thing is about a story, Hoover's story about domestic violence.
Right.
I'm telling you, because I'm not saying there's domestic violence in this, actual violence in this marriage, but there is dominance in this marriage without a doubt. And it's not a coincidence, people. People pick things, they choose things, they grab things. These are not coincidences that this happens to be the story that's being fought over and that she was fighting so hard for. It's like her saying who she is. Like somehow, like this is happening to me, in some way. And then it gets taken away, to her. Like, why did she want it so bad? Why this story?
Well, I think this is, okay, so one, I'm mad at Ryan for putting his hands over my script. I mean, right? And then, but also this piece of it as well, as Manny's sharing. Manny's always good with all these little intel.
Yeah, Manny seems to know. Manny, you're in the know.
Yeah, so Ryan's movie's being dropped. Like Ryan's trajectory is really starting to plateau a bit. And I just saw a headline today, and I don't necessarily believe it, that Hugh Jackman is pulling, kind of his, like he's not aligning himself publicly. Like the two of them aren't, quite in lockstep anymore. He has 3 upcoming projects with Paramount. Eloise, that's now Netflix. That's exactly what I was referring to, Manny. A sequel to Ferris Bueller and some sci-fi movie all dropped by Paramount, with whom Ryan Reynolds has a first look contract with until the end of 2026. Yeah, because he's just not the sure thing that he was. Okay, so here we have clarification. The Jesus reference was apparently a joke written into the Deadpool Wolverine trailer, and then he talked about it on podcast. It was a character, Wade Wilson. Oh,
okay.
That makes sense.
Marvel genius. That's funny.
Now, I mean, here, imagine living in Ryan Reynolds' shadow for years. So what does a Blake Lively like? Okay, and my theory. I've said this, and I've been wrong with my theories, and you were right. Like you said that Taylor Swift. And
I called that one. I called it day one. I said they're getting married. That's right. I did. I said this is not a PR move.
I'm sorry. It's the vault. I think he's a box of friggin' rocks, and I do not think. I mean, is it a real relationship? That's why I said, like, yeah, it's mutually beneficial. It is PR, but yes, but I think it's a relationship that suits them both.
Yes,
gives them both what they want, but I don't see the compatibility there. I'm just saying.
You know what? You don't. No, wait. You do see compatibility. You don't see
where.
Wait. You don't see heat. You're confusing it.
This is true.
I know it is, because when you look at Kelce's old girlfriends, they are smoke shows. Friggin' smoke shows, right? Not to mention they're black women, but they're smoke
black
shows.
Smoke shows.
Yes.
That's not Taylor Swift.
But when you look at the psychology, so here's a man at a certain age ready to get married.
Hold on one second, Dr. Abby. Does anyone mind that we did a quick pivot to Taylor?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll shut up. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not telling you to shut up. Like, does anybody mind?
Sorry.
Can we talk about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce for just a moment? Because when the Chiefs lost on Sunday, and I was so, my God, I was so sick. The Patriots lost. It really sucked. But then when I saw the Chiefs lose and then Travis Kelce kind of boff and then Taylor was there. Now I like Taylor. I don't have a problem with her at all. I mean, I like her.
Yeah, I know. I'm not
we don't, on this channel, we do not fawn over Taylor.
Right.
But why I was happy, I was like, please let this era, intentional use of era, please let this era end. Like these two can go off on their life, but I know that they're together, and you were 100% right. But I never
They're
read.
Really together.
But now I'm going back to what you had to say. I've never read that these two are a genuinely deep in love couple. I think Taylor Swift has more compatibility with Travis's brother, Jason, but he's married with kids, but go on.
They're very cute on the podcast together too. Cause I go and watch sometimes. Yeah. Cause I'm interested. Cause I'm a little invested in that. I like understanding that relationship.
Well, hold on, Abby. We have our justification right here. Oh, no. Wrong one. I hit it too quickly. Travis got a swag from those exes. Oh, I love that comment.
Oh, yeah.
I love that comment. But I wanted to get this one right here, which is important. Blake is Taylor adjacent. That's why we can go to Taylor real quick.
Oh, that's good. And I will say this too. I give Taylor a lot of credit. She's the godmother of all those kids. And she was like, I'm out.
Oh, yes.
So I think that woman does follow, no matter what you want to, I'm not like a big Taylor fan, but I can read people pretty well. She follows her shit. Like she says it and she does it. Like she gives money to it. She supports people. You do not hear rumors of her being like, oh, she's really mean or something. You don't, because I don't think she is. So when she distanced, I think she knows what really happened. And she was like, and then remember, she was like, my dragon is coming or whatever bullshit. And Taylor was like, no. And these women had some kind of close relationship that she's the godmother, which was also weird of all the kids. I thought that was bizarre.
Yes.
So again, it's the codependency. It's the pleasing. It's the and Taylor was so much bigger than Blake. I think she was trying to hook her star to something and to come away from Ryan and that relationship, like as her own person with this super, who's bigger in the world than Taylor Swift? Oh, that's my friend, not yours, mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
And so that is part of her identity. But this woman, again, they were deep in for that and she's gone.
That's right. When Taylor pulls from Blake and when Blake is, as you said, like codependency, there was a brand codependency between Blake and Taylor. Yep. There's no doubt about that. And also, what does Taylor Swift lack? What is everybody kind of fighting for? Like, just another complete aside. I can't say who my client is in any of this, but if anyone is following, Ryan, oh my God, Manny, I know the answer to this, and Chris too. Ryan Murphy has the Carolyn Bessette, John Kennedy story coming out in February. So, and it's based on a book. And I have been hired, let's just say in the universe. Okay. So I can't get too much because I have a client in any of this. But where am I going with this? Oh, but when we talk about like the Kennedy narrative, like Tatiana Schlossberg, doing that amazing, wonderful essay on grief, the fact that she brought her mom into it and to bring her mom's grief so she could settle scores against RFK Jr. Okay. That like big brands can do this. Blake Lively had Taylor Swift. Why Blake? Oh, I know what it was. It was also, this is Real Housewives adjacent, but Carol Radswell, who was married to John F. Kennedy's cousin. And then there was a book and she had a book and like Carol Radswell is one of these people, like a lot of people have given her a lot of grief because they don't think she was actually really, really good friends with Carolyn Bessette. So she needs validation to show that they're friends. So, sorry, that was one thing
we're
that I was
going
working on work-wise. And then, but Blake Lively, so in this call, I was kind of saying the same thing, like Blake Lively and Taylor, and here we're talking about here. That's why this is a vault. Nobody share this. But Blake Lively doesn't have a girl squad. No, I take that back. Like Taylor Swift has always been dinged for not having a girl squad. Like she has a girl squad people, but people always criticize her for not having true girlfriends.
And they're wrong because she does.
Well, she has friends, you know, she does have friends from home. She does have friends here and there, but she doesn't really have like a legit holy roller, super, super close friends. Some of it's very performative. So Blake Lively, my argument is that Blake Lively gives her that girl squad vibe. That's and that's the other piece of it, like A-list girl squad vibe. And then brings in Ryan Reynolds, because here, if we go adjacent in Hollywood, many Hollywood male actors have crews. They have their bros. Right. Look at the story with Rob Reiner. Everybody now knows, if you didn't know it before this weekend, everybody knows his crew. Yep. Billy Crystal, Martin Short, Jamie Lee, Christopher Guest, you know, like guys are known for having their crews, like George, George
Clooney, Brad Pitt,
they all have their crews, right? Yeah. But women don't. They don't. So it's hard. So if you can do that and create that, it just helps you as a brand. That's just all I'm saying about Taylor.
Okay. So I do think you're mistaking, though, heat with compatibility. I think they're highly compatible. They both come from divorced families, but where the parents get along.
Who?
Kelce's parents are divorced.
Yeah.
And Kelce's parents, and so are Taylor's.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Taylor Swift's
parents are not married.
They're not?
No. Someone double check.
Someone will tell us.
Yeah, they're not married. But the parents get along, you know.
That's what it is. I think you're right. But they do get along. They do get along. And
there's a lot with that, again, and I said this last year. I said, Travis is looking at Jason's life. He's, come to love this brother so much, who brought him up, saved him, got him to the NFL, blah, blah, blah. He has a thing. And he's seeing this life he has with this beautiful woman, with Kylie, whatever her name is, and all the kids. He wants it. It's what he wants. Yeah. And he knows the smoke show party time was the smoke show party time. And it was great. But he did mature. People mature. They get older and they go, oh, it's not just about sex anymore. It's about more than that. I need to have more in common with these people.
Right.
I need to really have values that match up. I need to have family. I need to have, there needs to be more on the table. And she brings a lot to the table that way. They really are very similar with so much of their stuff. And frankly, both of them are like very positive kind of people. Like, he has friends since he was very young. He's got his people.
He has the same crew.
He's very close.
Taylor has the same crew.
Yes.
A lot of the
He's very close to his family. So is she. So, like, I'm telling you, compatibility is what happens, especially for men as they get older. And they start to go, oh, I think I want to be,
I see. I'm with you on this. I'm with you on this.
So once I said the heat thing, you got it. You were like, oh, yeah.
You're right.
I frankly don't find that Taylor is particularly, like, she's beautiful. I don't know, but she doesn't have a lot of sex appeal. And she would say that. She's like, I'm not the sexy girl. That's not my thing.
But all those years of people saying that she was actually gay.
So, oh yeah, I know. I don't buy it. I think people like to say that about women, when like Oprah or whoever, or me, because my best friend, that there's this secret gayness when we're not married. See, I think that's part of the male bullshit. Sorry, guys.
I agree. So, but part of the reason why I love Taylor so much, well, I will say though, I did, when her album came out at 5 a.m., I was listening to it running, listening to Ophelia. Like, I could pick out the best song, like, as I was running. But the big part of, Taylor Swift is Tree Payne, her publicist. And that's another reason why I think I love Taylor Swift so much, is because she's just so, I don't know if I want to say the word tight, like that sounds like horrible, but it's so true. Everything she does is tight. It's locked down. And she has the best.
Seems like the best person.
Man, right? So good. So good. I mean, compared to Blake Lively, Leslie Sloan, who's long in the tooth. And it's not to say anything's wrong with people who are old, But in the reputation game, whether it's a publicist or a lawyer, if they're used to operating in the 90s, they're going to miss a lot of these big things.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why I think Blake Lively, she's missing a step in a lot of things, because of those reasons.
Yep. But, and I'm going to say this in here.
Yeah.
How am I going to say this so that I don't? I have Taylor adjacent people. I've had Taylor adjacent people in my practice. Let me say that. And it's not true that she doesn't have a real girl squad. It is not true that she doesn't have close. And I believe a lot of women have.
No, I said she has a girl crew. She doesn't have an A-list squad. She has
that's different.
Squad.
You know why? Because to her, I think that's not like she wants real people. She wants to stay grounded. She knows that her life is crazy and not real. She knows that. She talks about that.
Yeah.
But she's also been working with a therapist I really respect for a long time.
Who, Taylor Swift?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I like
So I'm going to say that here in the vault, and then that stays here and it doesn't go anywhere else.
Everybody, do we all understand the rules of the vault?
You understand the rules of the vault? And I am getting close to things I don't want to get close to, but I that's why I'm like defending that piece a little. Like I don't think someone said maybe a covert narcissist. I really don't think so. I as much as you can be as big as she is and not be, I know there's some, come on people, like it's a lot, it's hard, but she really works hard. And I think that's another Kelce plus. These are real people doing real things. They stay very grounded. And she wants that in her world.
I think I'm with you on this. I agree with you.
She knows she needs it. She knows she wants it. Like this is, do you know what I mean? Like it's all of that works for them.
I totally agree with you. And really the bottom line here too, even when we talk about chemistry, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have more chemistry.
Thank you for the secret is safe. I appreciate it. I think Taylor was trauma bonded to Blake because Blake is one of the few who stuck by her doing that. Yep.
Oh, there's so many great comments. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so glad you said that because I actually forgot about that. And I've said that before. I think I said that in here. I said that. Thank you. When that whole cancellation, Kanye, all that stuff, here was somebody who really stuck by. It's true. And so think what it must have taken for her to step back, as loyal as she is. Taylor is so loyal. I mean, she has the same band. She's had the same band since she started, right?
Yeah.
This woman is loyal. And she stepped back from Blake. When Blake was really there at a time, I agree. I think that was trauma bonding. And I think now she's seeing who Blake really is. Now she's again had therapy. She started therapy during that whole thing, as you might imagine, right? Smart and has really continued to use it all these years as a means of understanding herself and, trying to stay real.
Right. And thank you, because this is someone who's nailed what I said. She's had the performative girl squad, though. Thank you.
Yes.
That's exactly what I was trying to say.
Yes. I totally get what you're saying now. Yep. Yeah. It's almost like everyone was expecting it, so she did it or something. I don't know.
Yes. And I think Blake was a part of it, though. I think they were better friends and the whole Ryan thing because we're coming up to our hour, but the whole part going back to the case of where we were, when they baited Justin Baldoni to come into that apartment. Ryan Reynolds was there screaming at him. Hugh Jackman was there. Taylor Swift was there. Blake Lively brought in, the army of intimidation against Justin Baldoni, and Taylor Swift did not want to be a part of that campaign. And she pulled herself out of that so quickly. Wow. So Abby, to wrap, oh God, I lost the quote I wanted to put up here. Someone has something great. So closing takeaways here.
Okay.
Tell me, what do you see? So it's December. We're 1 year from a reputation point of view. You do yours first. We're 1 year from when all this happened. Okay. Yep. What do you see happening in the future with Ryan and Blake?
Oh, because I will say, I think Justin I think we're never going to see him again. I think.
The people, a reporter was asking me that.
Yeah, I think he's exhausted. I think because they have a machine. He does not. He's like this little, and again, he might be a juggernaut. He's going to switch careers. He's going to do something. but he's getting out. He's going to figure out a way to parlay this into something else, is my guess with him, because it's too much. He's done. I think he's, yeah. And then, but I think these two, it's interesting. I think we're looking at this piece is either like they're going to keep going for it. I don't think they're going to win unless they really pay people off. That redaction that I saw really let me know that whatever is out there isn't evidentiary law. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, now I feel different. And so unless they snake it and pay people, which they could, and get that judgment, they're going to lose this case.
Oh, you think they're going to lose it? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
Yep. So I'm going to say that. And then I think that is going to have them almost like the Mila Ashton thing, where they're going to have to rework the relationship in some way. I don't think Mila and Ashton are going to make it personally.
I don't think Mila and Ashton are going to make it. And that's why I think Mila is creating her own. She's trying to come back on her own separately, reputationally, which sometimes smooths the, just kind of makes way for what happens, with the relationship, how it breaks. I think it'd be really tough to be married to Ashton. I agree with you. The whole Justin piece, the People Reporter and I were talking about it. Part of it is that Justin's work has dried up. A lot of it's because of this court case.
I bet.
Some of it he's voluntarily stepped back, and some might not be so voluntarily. But it's been a good thing for him reputation-wise, I think, to do that. And I think that's good for him.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be way out of the game. He might be more behind the scenes guys, because the guy will get a lot of publicity.
That's what I mean. He's going to go, yeah.
But he'll still try and be in industry, because you can't make a lot of money. The guy needs money. And, in other stuff. But you could make money as an influencer, but he'll still try and be in the entertainment piece.
Yeah, maybe
he does
he'll
have people
write
behind
or
him.
produce or
But what he does have is he has the reputational goodwill, whether he's an asshole or not. And that's what I said to the reporter. I said, it doesn't matter. Reputationally, if you look online, Reddit, I polled sentiment reports. He has the reputation win in this case. He does. Yeah. And that, I think, will help him. So I don't think he'll be gone for good, but he had a much higher trajectory until this happened, until Blake and Ryan tried to snuff him out.
Yeah.
So now, and what do you think happens with Blake and Ryan?
I can't see them staying married long-term for sure. So I think I don't know. I think they'll wait for a while, till the girls are maybe a little older or something, but they're not a forever couple for sure. Something's going to shift with, like, he'll cheat or she'll whatever, or, something's going to happen. They're not a long-term couple.
Yeah. And don't you think when people truly, like, here, she's saying, which I completely agree with this. You could be an asshole, not necessarily a bad person.
Yep.
Even though, like, this People magazine reporter was saying to me, that Justin was an asshole. I thought, okay, but maybe, maybe here and there, but really when you do look at him and the zen of him, it's like, yeah, maybe in a Hollywood sense, but I don't get the sense from a character point of view that this guy is a horrible guy or you can't trust. Whereas Ryan Reynolds, and this is how I feel, if I see another Mint commercial, I would never do anything.
Snarky thing. I'm like,
Ryan Reynolds is anything that guy touches. So that's why I think reputationally, I think you're absolutely right. And I love how you said Mila and Ashton. It's going to be something very similar, even though what brought them down was Danny Masterson and a really ugly thing.
Let's defend a rapist. Yeah.
They're definitely going to get divorced.
He's a good guy.
I think they're definitely going to get divorced. Ryan is still going to do Ryan. He's going to make his money. He's going to be big. But I think once Blake gets divorced, there's going to be so much victim narrative in the next year for this lawsuit, and that the press, the People magazines, everybody's going to write stories. They're going to shove Blake Lively down everyone's throats. But Blake Lively she didn't have enough goodwill. I think this is a quote they're going to use in People magazine. She was already in a goodwill hole to begin with. And it's really difficult to come out of that. So, but I think she'll be whatever. She'll be fine. But they won't be what they were.
No, I agree. Again. Yeah, I don't think they're ever going to be able to go back there. I will say that.
Sure. Exactly. Dr. Abby, this has been amazing. So as always,
we always have so much fun.
We do. And I love that we can pivot to all these different people, but in the vault, everyone here said, no, everything you guys are talking about is adjacent.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Adjacent. All right, everyone. I want to thank you so much for joining both of us today on this live chat.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It was fun. So join me on Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern time, Substack live chat. We're going to reveal my top 5 PR crises, good and bad. I will tell you my number 1 PR crisis when the publicist and I have been going back and forth for this huge A-list person. And I've been desperately going, they're in London, I'm here. And it wasn't like time-wise, it wasn't working. And then the COVID thing, but that will be 12 p.m. Eastern time. And then certainly, of course, my podcast this week is the list from last week. Abby, tell everyone where they can find you.
You can find me. Oh, thank you. You can find me here on Substack.
Yes.
I have a Substack. And then, the Relationships Made Easy podcast. And there's also, my website, appymedcalf.com. And there's also a workplace therapy with Dr. Appy Medcalf now.
That's right. Is that going well?
It's great. I started a new podcast in October, which I'm going to continue. Yeah, I like it. It's going.
Oh, it's fantastic. And you know what? I go in my phases, and sometimes I'll listen to 15 of your podcast episodes at once. And I feel like I'm going through the Dr. Abby phase again,
Okay.
You really are. If you guys haven't figured this out, this is therapy. Yeah. You listen to her podcast, it's going to a therapist. I cannot tell you, Dr. Abby is my favorite out of anyone. You guys, you are the best. Great seeing you. I hope to see you guys again on Friday.
And I'll be back, I'm sure, because I always make.
We will have you back.
I love seeing everyone. Thank you for being.
We have to decide who our next topic's going to be, Abby.
Ooh.
We'll have to decide.
It should be good. I'd love to come back to JLo, just for the record, and kiss.
You want to come back to JLo? She's not doing anything.
I know, it's beautiful. Anyway, sorry. I have some inside scoop from friends in New York, but.
What, you can't do that. What? Just give us a taste of it.
She's been dating a few younger men.
Oh, this isn't surprising.
And there's some infighting between those men.
There's younger. Okay, JLo
that might come out publicly. We're gonna see.
Are these known men?
There's some stories she's trying to squash.
Wait, I was gonna say, does JLo squash stories or does JLo push stories?
Well, not these, I think.
Oh, she doesn't want these out? And it's a bunch of young men fighting each other?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm trying to stay outside of some stuff, but
okay.
I think it's going to be public soon, so I think.
Okay, we are going to track.
You won't know who the men are not famous, but yeah.
Okay, we're going to.
But that's why it's been so quiet, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, why?
Because she's been dealing with this.
Oh, interesting. But see, I okay.
Well, she had the Kiss of the Spider Woman ridiculousness.
Bombed, which you knew that was going to be a massive bomb.
And then that video of her singing and pretending she's thinking she's.
But she doesn't. She needs, because what she needs is A-list in her life, and she doesn't have it. So now she has younger men, but maybe that's how she's getting her.
Yes. So okay.
What? You gotta say one more thing.
I'm so sorry. Well, the one guy's really famous, so I don't know if that's gonna. Yes. So the one guy is in the music. Manny knows. Maybe you know, Manny. He's in the music industry. There's a thing, and she's trying to keep a lot of this quiet. So I think it's going to come out. So we'll see.
Okay.
And if it does, then I can talk.
I was going to say, if it comes out, Abby, can you talk about it? Would you be able to talk about it?
Yes.
Okay. Dudes fighting over a woman in the junk that
I am Switzerland and all matters tell it. That's so cute. Yeah. No, it's anyway.
Oh my God. Okay, you guys.
All right.
So good to hear
you all. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so it's great. We got stories that we're watching. We're watching JLo. We are watching the Ryan Murphy, Carolyn Bessette story, and anything that comes out around that, and any of the Tatiana stories as well. And then any other popping things. And then Abby, we will 100% have you back.
Have me back. Hopefully I'll
okay. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, everybody.
If I don't see you guys on Friday, have a great holiday.
All right,
bye for now.